Hi all, as promised, I want to talk you through the final paper. I want to start off by letting you guys know that the timeline for completing this is getting to be quite tight. We only have about 3 weeks for you to execute this final paper. So I have taken the time to write out a timeline of due dates for you. I will talk through them in this video, but I will also be posting it to a discussion board, or not discussion board, assignment announcement post. But for now, I wanted to first walk you through the assignment, then talk you through some of the important dates, and finish up by highlighting a few things to keep in mind while you are completing this paper. So I told a couple of you via the Zoom call today that this paper is really the capstone for this entire semester. I designed the class in such a way that we would slowly build on frameworks and foundations so that by the time we made it to this final paper, you had had a little bit of experience with each part of the writing process. So drafting an argument-based paper, looking at themes in literature, looking for journal articles that address a particular theme, grappling with those journal articles, and now what we're doing is we're basically taking those multiple ideas and bringing them together into one paper. So this final assignment is a research-based paper. If you take a look at the assignment sheet that I posted to Blackboard, it is under the assignments tab. It is labeled final paper. It will look familiar to some of you who have had me before. This is the common graded assignment for English 101 and 102. We are required to have this paper in our courses each semester so that students have experience with them. But this particular semester, since we are in English 102 and we've been working with materials in literature, I'm going to ask that you choose something that we have dealt with in class, so a short story, a novel, a poem, or play. You may also choose the film that I've asked you to watch, which is American Beauty. And you will be analyzing whatever you have chosen for a particular theme that emerges. So analyze it and make an argument about what you see the author articulating in that particular piece of literature. As soon as you locate what you're planning to research, both, what cultural object, short story, novel, poem, play, or film, once you locate that, decide on the particular theme that you're planning to argue. You will then have to move into researching that particular theme in the CCBC Library homepage. So just like you perform for the article critique, I want you to go to the CCBC Library homepage and do some research concerning the themes that you see emerging in your chosen short story, novel, play, poem, etc. This assignment is going to require that you have at least 5 separate journal articles to help substantiate your claim. In terms of research, I do not want you performing any research on Google. All of your research should happen in the CCBC Library homepage under one of the particular databases that you have available to you, be it SIRS Researcher, Academic Search Premier, EBSCOhost, etc. I can go into more detail in another post why you want to avoid using Google as a research choice, but for now I'm going to require that it is a CCBC or an article that is located through the CCBC Library homepage and has been vetted by a scholar in the field. When you look at the assignment sheet, you'll see that there are several questions that you can answer to help you analyze your chosen cultural object. These questions are solely there to get you thinking about whatever you have chosen for your particular cultural object. You do not have to answer all of these questions in your article. It's, again, purely there to get you thinking about what your poem, novel, play, short story, etc. Has as a theme. A couple of the paper requirements I want you to bear in mind. This paper should be 4 to 6 pages in length. It should be 12-point font. double space Times New Roman, double spaced 1-inch margins. You will be required to have a works cited page and a bibliography. MLA style is what I am asking that you use, but if you use anything like Chicago style or APA, you are permitted to use that. This assignment says there is a minimum of 3 academically appropriate secondary sources. However, I'm requiring that you have at least 5. So, general approach to this assignment, you'll want to approach it in the same way that we've approached other written assignments that we've done in the class so far. You'll be required, again, to locate what poem, short story, play, novel, etc. that you're planning to look at. You will want to analyze it for what emerges in terms of a main overarching theme or what is the writer's point. You will then need to think about a solid thesis statement that will capture exactly what you see occurring in the space of the piece. So if you identify that there's a particular theme, that's great, but why do you see it? You have to prove that it exists. Once you've decided on those 3 things, your next step in the process is to begin research to help substantiate your claim. For this particular assignment, you may find some articles that directly reference whatever short story, play, poem, novel, etc. and theme you have chosen, but you also might find that you have to perform research that doesn't necessarily have to do solely with the particular novel, short story, play, or poem that you've identified. What I mean by that, let's take for instance what we looked at in terms of A Rose for Emily, right? Let's say that we decided one of the themes that emerged from A Rose for Emily is this idea of Emily's inability to let go, right? Her holding on to the past. We might be able to research that particular theme in the CCBC Library homepage and find a few articles that address that particular topic. Let's say you only find 2. I'm requiring that you have at least 5. What that means is you might have to delve into a little bit of research that deals with the psychology of someone's inability to let go. Or maybe you have to look into the psychology or sociology of loss, right? And those articles might not directly reference A Rose for Emily, but what they will do is provide you an opportunity to point to specific research that helps bolster a claim that you're making about how A Rose for Emily really captures this human dynamic of not being able to let go. If you have specific questions about that piece, I'm glad to go into greater detail in a later post. I can even post a video where I talk you through how to do research that specifically mitigates some of those issues that arise in research assignments where you perhaps can't find all of the material that you need to successfully complete the assignment. Quickly, in terms of assignment deadlines, so I'm asking that you have a working thesis and an outline for this paper this coming Wednesday, April 22nd, posted to the Blackboard page. That means between the posting of this video and Wednesday, you need to have decided on what piece from our class you're planning to focus on, and also have a working thesis statement that you're planning to try as you begin the assignment. Bear in mind that this thesis statement that you craft isn't necessarily one that you have to be married to. If down the line you decide that that's a thesis statement that no longer works, that's fine. You can go ahead and make the change as needed, but for now I need you guys to at least have a starting point. Monday, April 27th, you will need to have written a reflection of some of the frustrations and struggles you've encountered with the research process so far. What that means is between now, the posting of the video, and next Monday, you need to have already begun the research process on this paper. So time is of the essence. I urge you over the next couple days to spend some time deciding on what you want to write about, decide on how you want to argue it, and begin the process of researching and reading through materials in preparation for the rough draft, which is going to be due in 2 weeks' time. The rough draft is due on Friday, May 1st at 11:59 p.m. Remember, if you do not turn in a rough draft, it is 10 points off the final copy. Wednesday, May 6th, I'm going to be posting a video of the common errors on that assignment. I will also be hosting an open Zoom call on that Friday, May 8th, where I will address any questions or concerns for you to craft the final assignment, which is due on Wednesday, May 13th by 11:59 p.m. So basically, over the next 3 weeks, we sort of have a madcap research assignment trying to get this paper completed by the close of this semester. It would behoove you, since we have 2 weeks before your rough draft is due, to get started as soon as possible on the research process and already begin crafting this rough draft so that you have something solid by Friday, May 1st. If this were me and I was handed this assignment today, I would be watching this video, immediately deciding on what short story, novel, poem, or play I wanted to focus on, decide on what theme I think emerges most strong in that particular piece, and I would be researching beginning tomorrow on this assignment and have researched and read all materials that I need by next Monday so that I could work on my introduction on Tuesday, one body paragraph on Wednesday, potentially 2 on Thursday, completing my conclusion on Friday. Remember, this paper is 4 to 6 pages in length, 4 at a bare minimum and 6 at the absolute highest. So make sure that you are working on this steadily throughout the next few weeks. And again, I will be available via Zoom call, again on Wednesday, 11:15 to 12:10, unless Zoom kicks me off early again. And I will also be available via my email address and my Google Voice number if there are specific questions. If there's something that you would like to see addressed specifically in another video like this, please reach out to me and I am glad to address it via video and post it to Blackboard so that we can make sure that we hit all points of this particular assignment, because it is one of the most important ones. That's all I have for right now. I don't want this video to be too long because I know it can be really boring to just watch a video for 15 minutes. It was great to see some of you in the Zoom call today, and again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.